Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our live broadcast. We are actually simulcasting to the American School of Hypnosis, the Rene and Ralu show, and let's see, one, two, three, four, five, about 9 different places, different formats. So we'd like to thank you for being here today. And what we're going to speak about today is meditation. Actually, we're starting out with, I'm calling it Meditation 101, because throughout the upcoming weeks, we're going to be teaching you a few different ways to meditate. And today will be on mindfulness meditation. But before we get started, I'm Rainey, and
I'm Ralu. Good morning, everyone. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join our community. We really would appreciate it if you did so. So, meditation this morning. Hmm.
gives you
That's a
something to
really,
meditate on.
yeah, that's a really important subject to me too, Rainy, because I always talk about disconnecting and the benefits of that. And I think it's a great idea that we're doing this because maybe people don't really get it when I say it, but there's a lot of benefits to it. So disconnect or meditate. So there's a bunch of ways you can do it, right? So this is lesson one, mindful
And
meditation.
that's what brought this up. I was
Yeah.
actually outside yesterday. We were going grocery shopping, and as we were going grocery shopping, one of my neighbors came up and said hi. Wonderful guy, Mike. If you're watching, Mike, hi. Anyways, we started talking about the Rainy and Ralu show. You know how we do a show here every Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock throughout the week. And I gave him my card, and he goes, "Hey, what's it about?" So I told him it's about self-help, teaching people how to improve themselves, their self-esteem, mind hacks, basically a little of everything. And he let me know. He says, "Well, I've been having some health problems throughout probably the past year, and something that doctors haven't really been able to help him with." So he says, "I've heard about meditation and I've been trying to meditate, but because I really don't know if I'm doing it the right way or if it's working." And
Don't know
so we
how.
spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know how. So we spoke a little bit about it. And then later on that evening, I told Ralu, I says, "Hey, why don't we talk about meditation? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to
Mhm.
meditate. And we teach how to do hypnosis all the time. And pretty much hypnosis is a form of meditation. But why don't we teach just the basic things? Just start out with the very extreme basic ones, such as the mindfulness meditation, which we're going to talk about today,
Mhm.
and tell people how to do it so you can gain the benefits. And once you get this down, if you're comfortable with it, we'll get you into another method so you can see which ones you like. Because just like who was it? Brian Weiss says many lives, many masters, Well, I
Yeah.
say there's many minds, many methods. Okay.
Yeah.
Not everybody uses the same thing, even with hypnosis. It's not, one
That's
session fits
true.
all. You need to test somebody, find out how their mind works, and tailor the session to them. So the way I meditate you might not enjoy it at all, or you might love it. So we're going to, talk about different ones. So, the first one I wanted to speak to you about is mindfulness meditation. And
Mhm.
why would you even want to meditate? Well, there's a bunch of reasons. One, it can help you to make better decisions. Number two, to lower your stress. Number three, to improve your spiritual connections. Number four, to be better focused, just yourself throughout the day. And number five, to reduce the monkey mind, because a lot of people, they have minds all over the place. So when we say reduce the monkey mind, I think I need a little coffee here.
Basically, Rini is saying the monkey mind, and that's the one that I wanted to say a few things about it. Is the
Mhm.
beta mind, right, Rainy? The
Yeah.
beta mind. You always in the beta brainwave state, which is your waking state, your busy state. So you're very, very busy all the time and don't have time to relax during the day, usually, right? And if you don't relax, if you don't take 10 minutes to meditate or relax or disconnect somehow, you've got to find 10 minutes for yourself in this whole 12-hour day, oh, right? What happens when you're in too much beta? What happens if you're in too much alpha? So you can't
Mhm.
be too much into a state, because then and we're mostly in the beta brainwave state, most of us, right? So what happens then? You have no downtime. You will have stress happening. You have disease happening, and all kinds of things like that. So you have to take 10 minutes a day to go away from the beta busy brainwave state and move on to alpha theta, so you can um, relax and help. Um, just meditation helps clear your mind, and even if there are way where you don't have to clear your mind, but it just helps you to be in the present moment so you can make better decisions.
Thus the mindfulness.
Exactly.
Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and speak about that. And like I said, there's a lot of reasons why you can use it, but what you can do afterwards, once you're comfortable with the exercise, with being mindful,
Hmm.
just breathing, just focusing on your breathing, which is what we're going to be doing, will help you to become mindful, will be help you to calm down throughout your day. So let's say someone calls you on the phone, a business person calls you on the phone. You simply take a breath. And as you're doing it and you're focusing on it, it's going to bring you back to that relaxed state. The mind has a strong memory, whether you want to call it a muscle memory or whatever. But when you take a breath, it'll associate you with this exercise. So you'll be calm for your conversation. When you need to make a decision, take a breath or focus on your breathing, and it'll help you to make a proper decision, a calm decision. It'll help you to relax because remember, when you're busy, especially when you're stressed, it shuts off your critical thinking, okay, or
Yeah.
your original thought. It shuts off the frontal lobe. That's the first thing that happens when you become stressed, and it shuts down your immune system. However, if you can relax in a situation where you need your frontal lobe, like a business conversation, take a deep breath and bring yourself back to the mindfulness. It'll immediately open your frontal lobe because just like it takes stress to shut it down, which is a verb, which is an
Hmm.
action, not being stressed does not mean it's open. A verb or an action has to happen for it to open. In mindfulness, focusing on your breathing is one of the many things that will open it, as well as your immune system. So, those are the reasons why meditation is so great. So this one here, I mean, you're going to hear a lot of things in the future about guided meditation and this kind of and that. This one here is just a mindful meditation where you're going to be focusing on your breathing. And I mean, some people like to focus on a candle, like to focus on something pretty, a statue. But the beautiful thing about your breathing is, if you do this the way we're going to show you, is you can do it anywhere. Wherever you go, you always have your breathing with you. You might
Yeah.
not always have the statue with you or the candle with you, but you always have your breathing. And like I always say, if you don't have your breathing with you, then you don't need to meditate anyway. Okay. You're on the other side where you're in a
Yeah.
permanent state of meditation. All right. So I think we have some steps here that's going to help to show you how to do this.
Okay.
And number one, thanks, Ralu.
Hmm.
So what you're going to do with this, like I said, there's no prim and proper. You don't have to be in the lotus position with your fingers like this and your
No.
legs like one of those Philadelphia pretzels they sell at the street corner. You don't need to do that. I mean, if you can get in the pretzel position, go ahead, more power to you. But you just need to sit comfortably. If you're sitting in a straight chair, I mean, you can do it anywhere. If you're sitting in a straight chair, it's good to sit with your feet flat on the ground, your hands on the arms of the chair on your lap. It's important, I think, not to cross your arms and your legs when you're meditating because crossing anything sends a negative impulse to the brain. Good example, somebody knocks at the door, you open the door, and you see somebody standing there with a briefcase and flyers and a checklist, and you go, "What do you want?" Okay, you immediately cross your arms and get that stern look. It's like you're putting up your armor so you don't get chinked. You
Yeah.
don't want a chink in your armor. So that's the negativity. But by opening your arms, it's a lot better. You remember when you were a child, or when you're speaking to your child and you speak to them and they're all crossed up, if you want them to pay attention, you need to wait for their arms to open up and to be accepting. All right. So sit comfortably in a regular chair, in a recliner, in an office chair, whatever. But
I
just like
just
when
like
we
to
do
sit
it
in
with
my office
hypnosis.
chair, for example, when I do the
Mhm.
disconnect. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever's
and if you're in a
comfortable.
chair like this here, I can put my head back, because it's a high chair. But if you're in a chair like Ralu, there's no neck place, so you can just sit there and just kind of balance your head.
Hmm.
If you say my head will remain up and balanced while I'm doing this, it will.
Hmm.
If you don't, it's like when I teach people how to do it and don't say anything about it, they're like this with their heads down and to the side, and then they wake up with a sore neck. So, in other words, be comfortable. If you're in a chair like Ralu, you can back up to the wall, put your head against a wall, whatever you like. Do you have to sit? No, you can lie down. I've done meditation sessions where a lot of people come in with their blankets and pillow and they lie down on the ground, lie down on a chair, lie down on the bed. So you could lie down, you could sit down as long as you're grounded of some sort. That's why I say feet flat on the ground. You're grounded. When people sit in that pretzel position, it's usually the knees and the butts on the ground. So it's like a 3 point of grounding. When you're lying down, it's almost like you're a log. You're grounded on the ground. Okay. So that's the first one, is sit in a comfortable position where you're going to be able to stay there comfortably for a little while without moving. Now, to start out for your first time, I mean, you don't have to do it for half an hour or an hour. 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you're really ambitious. That's all you need. So set a time limit if you want before you go. Some people are afraid, well, I'm not going to open my eyes. What if I forget? Set an alarm clock if you want.
So should they
Computers are
start
great.
with a shorter period of time? If nobody has done this, if somebody is, if it, excuse me, if there's somebody that has never done this before, how long should they do it?
5 to
You
10
think
minutes. I mean, no more
5 to
than
10
10 minutes,
minutes?
just
Yeah,
5
I do
minutes,
for
yeah.
10 minutes just because I don't have time.
Just just to be comfortable. Now,
Just kidding.
we're teaching mindful
Yeah,
meditation, but
yeah.
usually when I meditate, it's because I need to know something. And what I'm
Hmm.
doing it for is because when you meditate, you're going into slower brainwave states. Ralu said right now you're in beta. That's your busy brainwave state,
Hmm.
your active one. But we're in all brainwave states simultaneously, and there's a lot of them, but you're always dominant in one. For instance, as soon as you close your eyes, you go 80% into the alpha brainwave state, which is the beginning of meditation, the beginning of hypnosis, the beginning of relaxation, where majority of stress goes away. That's also the animal state where the animals live, because you're blocking out, by closing your eyes, you're blocking out 80% of the busy beta activity. So that brings you, 80% into alpha. So just closing your eyes, you're there. And then, of course, once you relax, and if you get to that state, like a daydreaming state where you're kind of drooping off a little bit, that's theta. That's where you start to fall asleep or daydream, or when you're paying attention to somebody boring and you're going like this. Okay, that's theta, and that's the beginning of theta. Theta goes into your
Yeah.
dream state, just in a nutshell. And delta is your deep non-dreaming state. So you're going to relax and go probably alpha, maybe a little bit of the deeper alpha. But I do it, like I said, just to get into that state, to go into theta so I can start to, access the universal consciousness to get answers. I do it often. Matter of fact, last night I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning again. There's that, I call it the witching hour between 3 and 4, where the veil seems to be thinnest
Mhm.
between this side and the spiritual world. It's one of the best times to be able to be receptive and get answers in meditating. So I do it for a certain reason. Usually I'm in and out in 5, 10 minutes. I do it until I get my answer. Sometimes I'm there for a half an hour. Sometimes I'm there for an hour if I haven't gotten an answer. And if I'm there for
Mhm.
an hour, usually I'll fall asleep by then and just wake up. All right. So yeah, so set a limit, and don't go for too long. What I was going to say before is the
Yeah.
computer is a great way. You have timers on the computers where you could even have a timer that has a bell, kind of like the Buddhist bell, the gong. So you're not going to wake up too startling.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, what's the next one you got there? Okay, so how would you do it? You sat down in a chair, you're comfortable someplace, you set your time limit, The next stage is to focus on your breath. Now, some people say you need to deep breathe, you need to this kind of breathe, you need to that kind of breathe. I mean, there's so many rules for everything. And I think the best thing when you want to learn something, especially that's personal, get rid of most of these rules. Do what works for you, what's comfortable. So feel your breath. Basically, what I want you to do is just notice your breathing. Let go of everything else. Okay. You're still going to hear things. The monkey mind's still there. Okay. Let it go. Don't encourage it. Don't follow it. Just let it do what it wants. But your job is going to be to focus on your breathing. So, right now, just to give you an example of what that's like, okay, I'm going to help you to focus on your breathing. So, everyone, just go ahead and close your eyes right now, okay? And as you close your eyes, just allow yourself to breathe. Whether you breathe through your nose or your mouth, it doesn't matter. So notice as you inhale, notice the breath where it first touches. If you're breathing through your nose, where it first goes through your nostrils, you could feel the air coming in, or through your mouth as it touches your lips. Notice the breath coming in as you inhale, going all the way down your lungs. Follow it in your mind. And then it kind of stops and reverses directions, and follow the breath as it comes out. And you feel it coming out of your mouth, out of your nose, and just exhale all the way completely. And then you can notice change when the breath starts to come back in. You don't have to do it with me because I'm talking so slow. You're going to have to breathe 10 times. So as you inhale, you feel it come back in. You could feel the breath coming all the way in, going all the way down into your lungs. And then you exhale. You can even feel your chest expand and contract. And you feel the air come back out, coming all the way up, going out your nose or your mouth, or a combination of both. But just notice the path of the air as it's coming in and going out. Nothing else. Just notice it. You're an observer in your own mind, observing this remarkable thing you have called breathing. It's a great thing. I mean, I like to do it all the time. That's how much I enjoy breathing. Whether I'm sleeping, when I'm in bed, I enjoy breathing. I do it. Okay, I think I'll always do breathing as long as I can.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go
For
ahead
a
and open
long,
your
long
eyes now.
time.
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
long time. When I wake up in the morning, I go, oh, there's one. That's great. Oh, there's another one. I have more. Okay, so breathing is wonderful. Enjoy it. Be grateful for it. But that's pretty much all you're doing is you're allowing the breath to come in and you're noticing it. You're observing it.
Yeah.
You can even concentrate it. Now, concentrate on it. Now, what's going to happen as you're observing and being mindful of this breath coming in and coming out? You're going to think, oh, what am I going to get for lunch today? Maybe I'm going to go to Hannaford. I'm going to go to Market Basket and get something, come back and cook. So your mind's going to start. See, I'm not up with the numbers. Raluca did that. Notice when your mind has wandered. Number 4. Okay, so my mind's going all over the place. The monkey mind. Reason we call it the monkey mind is imagine a monkey in the room with a chandelier. And as you're talking, they're trying to concentrate. He's swinging from the chandelier to the other lights to the bookshelf. He's jumping all over the place. He's having a great old time. It never wants to stop. You ever seen a monkey sit still? Maybe if somebody put a shackle on them or drugged them, but otherwise they're moving all over the place. So
Only when
let
they
the
eat
monkey mind.
bananas, right?
Yeah, banana. They drive you bananas.
Yeah.
But notice the monkey mind, but bring yourself back. Bring yourself back to your breathing. And something else distracts you. Oh, there's a truck that just went down the road. That's an interesting color. Oh,
Ooh, sparkles.
go yeah, sparkles. I'm like that all the time. Ooh, look at a squirrel. Uh, and that's the whole idea is you're trying to focus on your breathing, becoming mindful, bringing yourself back to the present, to the now. And then you get distracted with what's going to happen or what did happen. And you bring yourself back to the now, just focusing on your breathing. And just do that for about 5 or 10 minutes, whatever time you set your alarm for. And that's going to help you to relax. It's going to help you to become mindful. It's going to bring you to the now. And the one thing about the now or the theta brainwave state is there is no stress in now.
I just
In
closed
this
my eyes
moment,
there for a second,
mhm,
and it was extremely relaxing. So it is extremely relaxing.
that's it. You blocked out 80% of beta.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, Ralu and I have been doing this for, for many years. So when we
Mm.
close our eyes, we don't only just go into alpha, we go right into theta. We kind of like boom, because the more you do it, the deeper you're going to go, the easier it's going to be, the more enjoyable it's going to be. So,
Yeah.
again, like anything, how do you get good at something? You just practice it. You're going to get better and
Yeah.
better and better, and it's going to become habitual. So, do that. Now, when should you meditate? Morning, noon, night, or whenever you like, but do it at least once a day. And if you
Yeah.
have to set a reminder on your clock to do it, or put a note on your computer, have you meditated today, or on the bathroom mirror, so when you go and shave or brush your hair or whatever, do it. And you're going to find that if you start meditating every day, if you haven't been doing it, it will change your life. You're going to have a more calm life. You're going to find answers. You're going to feel exhilarated. It's almost like taking a nap during the middle of the day. Helps you to stop, to get off that hamster wheel, because we're so busy living our lives that we don't have time to plan our lives. Get off the wheel sometimes. I know when I get
Yeah.
overwhelmed and don't know what to do, I go outside and I have a big bag of nets over here. I go outside, sit on the deck, and let the squirrel come to me. I got a squirrel that I'm training to come on me. I get him this morning. He was sitting right outside the window looking in the house saying, "Hey, hey, you got any nuts?" Well, he wasn't saying that, but in my mind he was. But I mean,
It was
I
really
go out
sweet.
and I
Mm.
relax. I relax in nature, and it helps me to back up. That's my meditating, is sitting out there looking in the stars. There's so many different ways of doing it. Or in the daytime, looking up in the sky. It helps you to relax, and it's like, oh, I should be doing this. You got so busy working, you
Mm.
might be missing the point of what your focus was. So it helps me to get refocused. So there's a lot of benefits for that.
Powerful
So that's
benefits for the meditation. Yeah.
what's that? I'm sorry.
I said meditation has powerful benefits.
Yes, yeah,
I
it
mean,
does.
they're now scientifically showing that reduces the stress, reduces the anxiety, reduces blood pressure, and all kinds of good stuff. So do it.
Do it. Do it now. And number 5,
Mhm.
close. Okay. It's not like a hypnosis session where you have to say on the count of 5, I'm going to open my eyes. 1, 2. Just basically, when you're done, simply open your eyes. Now, it's nice. I like to, when I've been meditating, I like to open my eyes and relax a little bit before I go about my day. Most of the time, I open my eyes and I take notes of what I was thinking. Because sometimes, if there's a problem you're focusing on, sometimes the answer will come to you. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes, because you meditated and you opened your mind and you kind of sent that vibration out to the universe, what it is you need to know, sometimes you'll open your eyes and get up, go about your business, and bang, it'll come to you. Or you'll think of something right off the bat. Um, Night before last, I was wondering what I was going to do yesterday's talk about, and I closed my eyes. I was doing a walking meditation, which we'll talk about another time. And was only a couple minutes, and I came up with the whole idea of the show we did yesterday. So what a great idea it would be to do da 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 da. And I
Yeah.
told Ralu about it. She goes, "Hey, that's a great idea," and we did it. That's where I get a lot of my ideas for what we're going to do for shows on the Rene and Ralu show, what kind of books I'm going to write for the hypnosis site, what kind of courses I'm going to build. We're always coming up with new things, and after a while, you run out of ideas. But meditating
Helps.
gives you
Yeah.
those ideas. Yeah, it helps. So that's it. You just got the 5 steps of how to do that. Let's see. I'll reiterate them. Number 1 is to find a place to sit comfortable. Number 2 is, instead of looking at the notes, I'll look at what Ralu's putting on the screen. Number 2 is to set a time limit. And eventually you won't have to do that because you'll
Yeah.
have a time limit
You'll
set
find your own
automatically.
spot. Yeah, your own time.
Number 3, feel your breath. Focus on your breath. Become mindful of your breath. If your mind strays, don't worry about it. Be an observer and come back. Notice it and come back. The thing is, some people try to fight the monkey mind. And whatever you fight, you give into, and it becomes worse. So instead of fighting, I don't want a distraction. I don't want a distraction. Because when you're saying I don't want a distraction, what are you doing? You're focusing on distractions. Instead, allow it. Allow it. Just acknowledge it. It's like a kid, you know, mommy, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do it. Ignore the kid. He's going to keep on, mommy, until finally you go, okay, okay. I mean, look at me. I'm gray, That's just in the last week. But if you acknowledge the kid, okay, honey, they stop.
Mm-hmm.
So acknowledge and move on. Okay. Oh, okay. I had distracting thought. That's great. Breathe now. Breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So acknowledge it and move on. And you're noticing it or acknowledging it. And the last one, open your eyes and go out your business. So it's pretty simple. Just becoming mindful. And once you've been doing that, for day after day, it's going to create a habit. Anything you do for 30 days becomes a habit. That's how you develop pretty much all your habits. And once it becomes a habit, then you can start using this habit you've developed. Like I said, when you're going to go into a meeting with the boss, take a deep breath and you're going to remember, I'm going to be mindful while I'm in there. And it's going to help. It's almost like puts you in slow motion. So when somebody asks you a question, you're hearing the question, you have time to figure it out and to answer it sensibly rather than and looking like a bumbling fool just bouncing all over the place. It helps you to relax. Becoming mindful helps you in so many different areas of life. And that's what I have. Practice, practice, practice. Anything to
Build
add,
a
Ralu?
habit. Build a habit of meditating. And I know when I don't do it for like 2 days, I feel lost. I have to close the door, shut everything down, and do it. I feel like I'm out of balance. And but you build a habit of doing it, and it'll help you in your life in a tremendous way. So
Good.
that's it.
And
Hmm.
that's what we have for you. We thank you all for visiting. And like I said, let us know in the comments below if you found this to be helpful, because one of the things we just got this idea yesterday through my neighbor,
Yeah.
mentioning it to us. But if it's something that you enjoyed and you'd like to see more areas of meditation, more types of meditation, let us know. We're doing this to help you folks. If you
Yeah.
don't want to, if you're not interested, then we're not going to bother taking the time to
Continue.
do
Yeah.
that. We'll do other things. So please let us know if you'd like to see more meditation methods in the comments below, because that's the only way we have of knowing that.
Mhm.
So with that, I'm going to give Ralu the last word.
Thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. We very much appreciate it. And if you're on podcast listening, go to Rene and Ralu on YouTube and subscribe. And then we have reneandralu.com with the links to the free book. We'll put it underneath this video. And the links to the podcast are there too, to Spotify, Google, and Apple. So thank you so much for watching and being here today. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye now.